to start by saying thank you to everybody for joining us today. I really appreciate you joining us for this session and, for investing in yourself to learn something new. My name is Nazanin, and I'm the Assistant Branch Manager at RBC Newcomer Specialist Team. So joining by me today, my wonderful team, Ria Rabi, Farah Mohammed, and Felipe Boada will be joining us soon. So we do have the full house today here. So we are the Newcomer Specialist Team, and we are very excited to be here today because we have a very interesting topic. So we're going to talk about the job search and RBC hiring process. And, I know that moving to a new country is a major life-changing event. There is so much to do, so much to learn. I was newcomer myself, and I went through so many challenges, like finding a job. And I actually wish I could attend the webinars like this, like back in 14 years ago. So that's why we are here today, to provide you with some tips and guidance to help you and prepare you for your job search journey with confidence. So, let's go to the next slide. Just a little bit about me, more detailed. So I came to Canada in 2008, and I truly believe in newcomers helping newcomers. So as I said, I was a newcomer myself, and I had lots of challenges. So after completing my master's degree in finance from Ryerson, I would better say like Toronto Metropolitan University. So I joined RBC in 2011 as a part-time client advisor role, and from this position all the way till now as an assistant branch manager, I've worked in different branches and helped so many different clients and newcomers. But my current role, I can tell, is probably one of my very favorite ones. It's so fulfilling, like when you help the community, help the people, help youth, newcomers, and helps clients and seeing their accomplishment and their successful journey in their lives. So, and besides the work, I'm pretty active. I do ice skating. I play basketball, volleyball, lots of sports teams because I do love socializing with people. So that was just a little bit about me, and now I would like to just talk about the agenda. This is what we have for you today. So our agenda of the day. So we've had Keisha give us an opening from ACCES, so thank you. Next, I'm going to go over RBC's purpose and vision, and from there, I'm gonna talk about RBC values, and Ria gonna introduce RBC Newcomer Specialist Team and what we do, and then we are going to get into the main presentation. So we have a very packed agenda today for you. So Ria and I will be presenting about the job search strategies, resume tips, interview tips, like how you can run your virtual interview, the importance of networking, and also I will be talking about the RBC hiring process. And then at the end, we're going to get into your Q&A. So your questions, to answer your questions to the best of our ability. And so as Keisha mentioned, please feel free to enter your question in the chat box, and we will get to your question at the end. Also, please be advised that we are not from our HR team. We're not recruiters. So we are here to share some of our personal experience and best practices. Awesome. So now let's get started. So, as I said, as a proud RBCer, first I would like to talk about RBC purpose and value. So, and actually there are two reasons for this. So first, we're all here because of RBC and ACCES employment partnership. And second, I know that lots of you are looking to get into the banking roles, maybe at RBC or maybe different workforces. So it's really important that you know, and you know about the company, you search about the company you're applying for. So as you can see, RBC's purpose and value, as you can see on the screen. So the RBC purpose is helping clients thrive and communities prosper. And our vision is to be among the world's most trusted and successful financial institutions. So RBC is around 86,000 employees, so we all are guided by one set of values. So first is client first. We always earn the right to be our client's first choice. So this means that we put clients' needs above our own to build lasting relationships, listen with empathy, understand clients' needs to offer the right advice and solution, and bring the best of RBC to deliver excellent value and excellent customer service. So the second is collaboration. So we win as one RBC, we are partners, and we work together as one RBC to make sure our clients and our communities prosper. So the other one is accountability. We take our ownership for personal and collective high performance. Diversity and inclusion, which is very important for us. So as we stand up for diversity and inclusion, and we embrace diversity for innovation and growth. And we speak of inclusion, we empower people to grow and achieve more. So, and I think that's why we're such a strong and successful organization. And the last but not the least is integrity. So we hold ourselves to the highest standard to build trust. So that was just a little bit about RBC. So now I would like to share a quick, wonderful video that summarizes who the RBC is. As I said, it's a 1-minute video. So let's watch it together. So this video is also available on YouTube. So for those of you who are not able to connect to the desktop audio, so you can definitely watch it on the YouTube as well. Awesome. And thank you all for watching. So as you just heard, I really love this video. As I said, it summarized who we are at RBC. And as you just heard, so here at RBC, we volunteer a lot, not because we have to, because we want to make a difference. Awesome. So now I would like to hand it over to Ria to introduce herself and also introduce our team. And then we're going to get into the main presentation. So thank you, Ria. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Maz. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today and investing in yourself by simply just being here and joining this webinar and being on this incredible learning journey with all of us. So my name is Ria. I am an advisor at the RBC Newcomer Specialist team. I arrived in Canada in 2008 and, eager to start my life, to build a family and to explore a new country. That in itself, had many, many challenges. And I joined RBC that 7th year. I quickly realized RBC was a company I wanted to grow with and continue my banking career with. So I highly recommend you do the same when seeking employment in Canada. Seek a company that allows you to flourish and one that values you as an employee, which is why I'm really excited to tell you more about RBC and RBC Newcomer Specialist team on our next slide. So RBC created unique branches around Canada. We're not the typical style branches. We're one bank with many doors, and ours is virtual. We really pride ourselves on newcomers, helping newcomers, as Naz mentioned, sharing our experiences and willing to share our challenges that we also face. Everyone's journey is different, therefore we all have different barriers and different challenges. And it brings us to our team, our wonderful team of 4. We're all here today at the event. We're always here to provide the support, the guidance, and the resources, the information, also the connections to the newcomer community, just to make your settlement in Canada as easy as possible. We do appear as a small team, but we are a strong one. We have strong connections within RBC. We have an extensive support team throughout the Greater Toronto region. This way, we can reach more clients and more communities in our virtual settings. We just sometimes lean on our industry experts who are always willing to volunteer their time. So we are a team that's always here to support you. But we could not have done that without the help from our commitment and the community partners. We're grateful for our partners like ACCESS who have been here since inception of the branch, since sharing the same vision and values and passion for for us and the community as well. You know, we envision Canada where diversity is embraced and communities are flourishing. Um, Having this joint mindset together, we're able to help more clients and more communities with the value beyond banking. And we're proud of the winning partnership in the community due to our presence, our team, and especially with our events like today. So with our financial literacy and beyond banking events, we're able to provide tailored events based on the host organization and their clientele. With these events, we're able to provide the advice on the Canadian banking system. We do know it varies from country to country. And of course, with our beyond banking pieces, just like today, providing the advice based on our knowledge. Today's job search event does cover the high level piece. However, my team and I are always willing to connect with you for more in-depth discussions. So now I do hope you have a better understanding of RBC as an organization, the newcomer specialist team, and now I'll hand it back to my dear colleague Nazanin to get us started.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ria, for introducing the team. So now we're going to present, we're going to get to the main presentation that I know you're waiting for. So our goal is to leave you with the tips and the strategies to prepare you for your job search journey. I know that finding your first job, a new job, or even transitioning from school to work isn't always easy, but trust me, so once you get your foot into the door after that, it's going to be much easier. So the first topic that I would like to touch on that, which is a very important one, is how you feel comfortable, with introducing yourself and be prepared for a very short bio and elevator pitch. So this is a very important topic because you need to be ready for a very short bio of yourself. We call it elevator pitch. And when you get opportunities, so you're comfortable introducing yourself. So Ria, sorry, I'm just going to put you on the spot. So I just want to ask you, maybe you can just share your elevator pitch with us. So let me ask you to introduce yourself. So let's say, imagine that you are at the bank speaking with the branch manager and you're about to ask if they're hiring. So how would you position it?
Sure, I can do that, Nas. I would say, hi, good morning. My name is Ria Ragbeer. I'm very intrigued by RBC and I admire all your work in the community. I know you're rated the top 20 strongest bank in the world and the largest in Canada. I do have a 10-year banking career and I'm on a quest to constantly grow and be agile in the financial industry. I'm a fast learner. I believe in being a team player is the essence of who you are as a person. Can we book some time for a quick chat to discuss RBC work culture and your current positions that you might be hiring for? I do aspire to join RBC one day. I understand you may not have the time right now, but can I follow up with an email?
So awesome, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to hear from you, Ria. So exactly, your elevator pitch make sure has three components, who you are, what's unique about you, and what you have to offer, and also make sure you suggest, the next step. Or for example, as Ria said, you can start with your name. Hi, my name is, for example, Ria, and I would like to know if you're hiring anyone for the summer. Or sometimes when you talk to someone in a face-to-face, so if you see they have a name tag, you can start with their name tag. Like, for example, hi, Maria, my name is Nazanin, and I would love the opportunity to work with you and your team at this branch. Like, are you hiring, or can we have can we set up a coffee chat call, or can I just follow you on the LinkedIn? So make sure that again you have three components of who you are, what makes you unique, and what you have to offer to the company, and also make sure you include the suggestion of our next step. So because sometimes you may feel that you may be rejected and you don't feel comfortable, but I'm sure that by practicing, the more you practice, you will be more confident in order to introduce yourself. All right, so now we're going to talk about this 5 job search strategy, as well as also how to rock your virtual interview. So by following these simple steps, it actually goes a long way and it will increase the chance of getting interviewed. So the first one I would like to talk about it is how being selective with your search is important. So before you send the application, it's really important to know what you want and what you can do. And I would say that one of the keys to a successful job search is knowing what makes you a unique candidate and be able to communicate this proactively to a prospective employer. So before you start applying for a job, so you should narrow down your search to the jobs that is just right for you. And I would say that even narrow down your targeted companies, because when you're browsing and searching for the jobs, so you might be tempted to send out the application to anything, all jobs, to anyone. But when you're not selective, so you may waste your time and energy by applying to a lot of places, and you may not even hearing back from any. So there's so many job search websites. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that, like Indeed, like Job Boom. It's like a Monster or Simply Hired. So, or you can search and apply directly throughout the individual company website, like RBC career website. So maybe I can ask one of my colleagues, if you can send the RBC career website in the chat box, it would be great. So the other strategy is customizing your application and customizing your resume and cover letter. So it's really important to take time to write a targeted resume and a cover letter. When you find the job that you want to apply for, it is important to use some of the keywords from the job posting into your resume and highlight the critical skills that specific role needs. Because the hiring manager will be able to immediately see why and how you are qualified for the job. So, and you will have a much better chance of getting an interview with the targeted resume than if you send just a generic one. And some job postings are not required a cover letter, but try to include a cover letter when you can. And I fully understand that it is not easy, write a new cover letter every time you're applying for the job. But if you can just do it and customize your cover letter, it will definitely help you market yourself a lot better. And lots of time you cannot really write everything on your resume. So some of the things that you missed out on your resume, so you could incorporate it to your cover letter. So another thing is invest in yourself and learning new skills. So learn an exciting new skills related to your profession, because this can improve your resume and also your confidence. And you will learn about the new opportunities. So you will also be able to enhance your own resume and show the hiring manager that personal and professional growth is really important to you. So there are so many online, like free online courses out there. So just sign up for free online courses and include them into your resume. For example, you can go to the Toronto Library, Public Library, HP Life free training courses. We do have, like, for example, Canada Learning Code .ca. So let me just enter this in the chat box for you. This is one of them, for example. Or even the LinkedIn has so many free online courses. So as I said, just sign up for free online courses and include them into your resume. So it's also about the online presence and like what online presence tells about you, and also the importance of networking. These are some of the other job search strategies that we're gonna talk about it. Like, we are gonna talk about these two. But before we get back to Rita, I would like to talk also a little bit more about the resume on the next slide. All right, so I'm sure all of you have a resume, right? So whether you have the resume or you are planning to make one, or you would like to update your resume, so there are some of the challenges that you are facing in creating or updating your resume. For example, you may not know what to include, like not knowing what format to use, not having the relevant experience, or not knowing how to highlight your skills and capabilities. So now we're going to discuss what you should include in your resume and how to highlight your transferable skills, which is really important. I'm going to talk a lot about the transferable skills because this is really, really important. So, okay, so before that, so now let's see what you need to include into your resume. I would say that the skills and capabilities and experiences that you've obtained from your previous jobs in the past, your education qualification, the professional email address, which is very important, or any awards or accomplishments. So, and now if I want to give you 5 tips for the resume, I would say tip number 1, just make sure you add the keywords from the job posting. So tip number 2 is use the action words. Focus on your accomplishment and explain the outcome of your action if you were successful. So, and again, make sure you include the keywords, and I just explained earlier, just customize your resume. And tip number 3 is just keep it simple. Like just leave out whatever is not relevant. And let's say if you're applying for the different roles, make sure you customize your resume. For example, like if you're applying for a client advisor role at RBC, just leave out whatever is not relevant to this role. And tip number 4, just to be honest, never overset or never lie on your resume, or like say about something, include something that you've never done, because it's really not worth it. So, and tip number 5 is just proofread. So check for spelling, check for grammar, and the consistency. Sometimes I see when my clients send the resume to me, I see that the font is not consistent. So it happens to all of us. So you may, for example, go and then copy some notes from somewhere and then paste it on your resume. It's okay to do that, but just make sure you make the font consistent. And so one other thing that I would like to add is that so the ideal resume is just, I would say, 1 to 2 pages. So do not, like, you do really not do even 1 page. I would say sometimes is more than enough. So even though you may have so many great experiences, so just try to keep it concise, try to keep it simple. And because at the end of the day, the recruiter is reviewing so many resumes, and the truth is that they're going to scan your resume maximum 3 to 5 seconds. So it's just make sure you just keep it concise, and as I said, just leave whatever is not relevant to the role that you're applying for. And the other recommendation is that in your resume, when you list your work experience in the bullet points, and then when you list the mandates, so most of the time I see that people just list out like the mandates, but that's not enough. So you also want to indicate your accomplishments, as I said, not just listing the mandates. So because what it does is it provides insight rather than maybe kind of just listing the mandates about the role. Try to include any accomplishment, like if you've been rewarded, if you've been recognized for something, if your manager recognized you, any R&R or any accomplishment. So that's how you show that what makes you unique as a unique candidate. So this is also very important, and I would wanted to just touch on that. And now, next, I'm going to talk about the transferable skills, which is, as I said, very important. Include the transferable skills into your resume. So now, maybe I ask you guys, so anyone can tell me what is the transferable skills is, or maybe anyone, or maybe like I can ask each of you to enter 1 transferable skills in the chat box for me. So let's see, you can just, enter 1 transferable skills, any of you, in the chat box. So let's see if you know what is transferable skills is about. Okay, I can see communication skills. Exactly, that's a very great one. The sales also sales skills can be transferable skills. The time management, exactly, language skills. Yes, that's correct. I see the time management, teamwork, presentation skills, and leadership skills. Great, thank you all. Customer service skills, you're absolutely right. So transferable skills is something that you were good at one situation, which can be also used in another situation, and they usually pick up over the time and can be gained from your education, work, or even volunteer experience. So and then you can just leverage them to your the new job as well. So for example, now I'm going to give you a couple of examples of transferable skills. So when you work at a retail stores, so you need to be patient, you need to have a teamwork skills, and you also need to have the ability to connect with your clients, be able to adapt to change. So these are all transferable skills. Or for example, like when you study and you also have a part-time job at the same time, so you have to have the good time management, right, and organizational skills to ensure that you get all of your schoolwork done on time and while you're working or volunteering at the same time. So these are really important because the skills-focused resume emphasizing on the skills that you gained from the previous experience, and it helps to show not only what you've done, but also what you're capable of contributing in the new role. All right, so now next, so we're going to do a practice about the resume all together. So here's what we're gonna do. So I want you to look at the resume on the screen, and tell me, this is a sample of resume, and tell me what wasn't done well with this resume. So anyone can tell me. Again, you can just enter your answers in the chat box for me. Awesome email. Yes, that's exactly. The email is not professional. Thank you, spelling. Remember, like, just recall the 5 tips that I shared with you about the resume. So professional emails, the email has to be professional. Spelling helps us spot and know. Okay, yeah, that's really yes. Sorry, I was reading his answer. So. All right, so informal and consistent language. So unorganized. Yes, the objective is not appropriate. You are great, so you're absolutely right. The formatting. Awesome, thank you, everyone. So here, so as you can see, so you're absolutely right. So as you said, like the email address wasn't professional. You know, the loss of spelling errors. Didn't pay attention to the formatting, and you need to also focus on consistency. And then you need to also customize the objective to the types of the job. So you really do not need to include your availability in your resume. So, it is important to communicate this with the hiring manager, but it is absolutely not necessary to include it in your resume. So make sure you highlight your transferable skills, capabilities, accomplishments, as I said, under your summary and work experience, and also be more specific about what you got good at it. Like if you are a tech savvy, just make sure you include it in the summary or highlight the qualification. And if we want to just update this resume, so this will be the ideal resume, I would say. So this is the very ideal uncorrected one. Again, it's really important to have the ideal resume. It's really important to understand how to use a keyword and to understand the job description. So I'll make sure like you always can get help. I'm sure that at ACCESS Employment there are so many great people. There's so many good resources. You can reach out to them. If you need help for your resume, you also can reach out to us, to my team, and we will be more than happy to spend some time to help you to edit your resume. Awesome. So now I would like to hand it over to Ria. I always call her the queen of networking. She's really good at that. So she's gonna, share lots of great tips and strategy and about the networking. So thank you, Ria. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Naz. You're too kind. So I really wanted to tie in networking with your social media presence. Just in my efforts of helping you continue your networking journey. So networking does play an extremely important role in your job search journey, and it doesn't, and it shouldn't end when you attain that job. So a lot of jobs are found by networking, but if you find the connection prior to applying for the job, the employer really knows your skills and your capabilities, and you do have a greater chance of getting that interview or even getting hired. So I do know networking, it can be stressful. It can be intimidating for a lot of us, especially if you're new to the country, who don't have a lot of connections in Canada just yet. So where would you start? So the great news is that you've already started by being here today with us. Organizations like ACCESS Employment does provide great services to help newcomers and job seekers build connections and equip them with knowledge needed for job searching in Canada. Through their great programs, events, and training, you get to know a lot of employers. Just like today, you're getting to know RBC, just a little glimpse of RBC and what we provide. And you get to know if they're hiring and such. So Farah did share the link for our career site. So take a look at that, because we're always hiring at RBC, and we're obviously ambassadors for RBC, so you can definitely connect with us for when you are in your job search journey. There are many other places where you can network, and some of you probably haven't considered it as of yet. But first and foremost, social media. LinkedIn should be top of mind for networking in the professional setting. Another place to network is your very own circle of friends, family functions, your current job, or even your past job, or even waiting in line at Starbucks or Tim's, whichever you prefer. Ultimately, it can happen everywhere and anywhere. So I do enjoy meeting new people on a regular basis, Especially in my current role at the newcomer specialist team. As I mentioned, we try to reach as many people and organizations within the community. I meet with these potential organizations by requesting coffee chats with them at LinkedIn and via email. So you can be taken in different directions when you're on LinkedIn, similar to Facebook and Instagram, but here, you really want to be strategic in your search and your request, and even the verbiage that you use as well. So in my case, I'm seeking a new organization to work with. I will try to reach many members within that organization. I connect with them on LinkedIn, and then I'll send them a quick message requesting a chat just to talk about the organization as a whole and to see the value we can add to each other. So as I mentioned, you want to be purposeful with your request, clearly stating who you are and what you would like to gain. I would say 80% of the times I don't get a response, to be quite honest. I might get a delayed response, meaning like months later, maybe 6 to 10 months later. And that's okay too. I don't let it bother me. I try to learn from it. I try to reword my request to see if I, incorporated everything I wanted to say, if I was able to really introduce myself really well, or if I was, purposeful enough. But another reason is that everyone is really busy, and sometimes people may not check their LinkedIn messages as often. Naz and I and my entire team work constantly on LinkedIn on a daily basis, so we're a little bit different in that sense. But a lot of people are not as frequent on LinkedIn, or even in the direct messaging piece as well. So then I don't, like I said, I don't let it bother me. I just go on to another person within the organization and request a coffee chat. So sometimes I do have success that way. I'm sure some of you that are here today have probably heard of informational interviews. So this is where you can request informational interview with the employer or the hiring manager for roles that you're interested in. People are more likely to give the informational interview as they don't have the pressure of offering you the job just right there and right away. So here you get to know the organization, you get to know the role a little bit better, and you get some job insights. In addition, you get to add to your network, which is actually key. And you get to, really connect with that person, even if they're not hiring. They can also connect you to someone that is actually hiring. So informational interviews are quite important. Coffee chats are very important for your networking process. There are 4 components of the informational interview request. And, the first is that you want to gain advice on your career path because you may want to emulate them or follow them in that similar path. You want to learn about the industry that you're interested in, and you want to learn about the company that you would actually like to work for. But lastly, you want to establish that professional bond with the call to action, meaning that you request to meet up via phone chat or a WebEx or whatever, and your call to action should be that last piece that you want to leave with them. That's similar to when I did my introduction where I asked if I can send them an email. So that's your call to action. So you want to make sure you include that. I found that coffee chats and informational interview really works well for me when it comes to networking. And sometimes the coffee chat even works its way to an informational interview for the actual interview too sometimes. But you really, like I said, you want to be strategic in your job search. You want to really network and do it purposefully. So just my final thoughts on networking. It's all about making the conversation with people, finding that connection so they actually remember you later. It's important to find out what you have in common with them, chat about your experiences, your backgrounds. Remember, again, to be purposeful. That is the key word that I'm leaving you with. And use the strategy so you can potentially increase your chances of meeting the right people and taking your career in the direction that you're actually aiming for. So now I want to actually chat a little bit about your social media presence. So over to our next slide. I'm 100% certain actually that a lot of you know that employers are using social media to decide whether or not they should actually hire you. So just some quick facts. We are a bank, so naturally, we do like, stats too. 1 out of 3 employers actually reject candidates based on something they found about them online. 55% of recruiters have actually reconsidered a candidate based on their social media profile. So Google yourself, just some homework I want to give you guys. Google yourself and see what comes up. Make sure that it is what you want to show online, and just know that employers are actually seeing the same thing that you're seeing right now, and they have done it too. They've actually Googled you. My kids have actually Googled me and inquired about things they've seen, and they do ask questions. So just know employers are doing the same thing. So most of us, actually all of us, have that online presence already that are job searching, and you're representing yourself on the internet. It can have a major impact on your professional reputation. So think about a brand that you've actually built on social media already. Back in the day in high school with the Facebook, you've already built your brand there. We have the LinkedIn, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. So what you post, the pictures, the comments, what do they say about you? So in essence of being professional, I want to just chat about LinkedIn. Does it speak to all the employers, not just a single one? Does it go more into details about your skills, the projects you've worked on, your interest, your certification? Does it allow professionals and employers to interact, to learn about you, contact you, and make sure your LinkedIn does contain recommendations and endorsements as well? So as I mentioned, everyone has a network. Though you may not realize it, networking can occur every time you meet new friends or acquaintances, volunteer in the community, through your social media, your professional settings, any events that you've actually attended here today with us too, participating at this event with ACCESS. Networking is a key factor in your career development, but you want to make sure your social media is, top of mind. Your social media presence actually is top of mind when you are networking. So that's my piece that I wanted to cover with you guys, just tying in networking and the social media presence. So I'll hand it back to Naz to continue.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ria, for all of the great tips about the networking. I cannot stress enough the importance of networking, because as you said, more than 70% of the jobs are filled through networking. And Ria brought up so many great points about how you can request for the informational interview, and also as well as the importance of your online presence. Always Google yourself to see when you do what comes up, because hiring managers, they might Google you, they may, there's a high chance that they check out your social, like Facebook, Instagram, or even LinkedIn, your social platform. So make sure, especially if you have your accounts public. So like what just watch what you're posting or about your profile picture. These are all simple tips that goes a long way, because as Ria mentioned very well, so it is important. So now, so let's get you got a job, and now how you can prepare yourself for the interview. So virtual interviews that I'm going to talk about today are becoming, increasingly popular since COVID has started. During the pandemic. So around like 75% of all the hiring managers prefer the video interview, virtual interview for the candidates. And now I'm going to talk about, I'm going to share some tips and strategy how we can have a successful virtual interview. So first is about before the interview, and I usually share my personal experience about this, because 2 years ago, exactly like summer of 2020, so I had my very first virtual interview to get to this role back 2 years ago. And what happened to me is that for the first few minutes of the interview, so I wasn't able to connect to the audio, and you can imagine how stressful is that, right? Because doing the interview is already so stressful sometimes, but not knowing the platform and then not able to connect to the audio, it was really, it was on top of that. So I finally was able to connect to the audio after a couple of minutes, but so that's why I'm here, that's why I got the job. But so it's really important that you are familiar with the, with the technology. Some organizations, they use the Zoom, some of them like RBC, we leverage the WebEx, for example, the same platform that you're connecting with today. So, the minute that you agree to the virtual interview, I would say that just test your technology to ensure that you are set for the success. And if you not know about the platform, just do your research. And also log in early, so it's very important. Do not be late, and it's always a good idea to log in 10 minutes early. So even if you have to wait in the lobby while somebody admits you, it's absolutely okay. And also keep your virtual identity professional. This is like the same as the email address. So we already discussed about it. Make sure your email address is professional and dress for success. Even for virtual meetings, dress as though you are preparing for an in-person interview. And try to choose the proper background. So try to limit the distraction. Just go somewhere which is quiet, and try not to wear something flashy. Accessories that because you want all the attention on you, not the background, not on what you're wearing. And also be ready for the common questions. Some of the common questions in the interview will be about, like, do you know about the company? What is your biggest strengths, or like what is your biggest, for example, weakness? So why you're leaving your current role? And then these are some of like examples of common questions. And of course, the practice. So the preparation is the key. So practice and try not to memorize, because you don't want to sound like robotic, during the interview. And then what you can do after, like this is the before the interview, and during the interview, I would say that it's very easy. Just be yourself and just believe in yourself. Introduce yourself, try to be relaxed and believe in yourself, because you've landed that interview. So this is a big thing, right? And I'm sure by practicing, and then preparation helps you a lot. And so a key things here is that you just need to make sure that you don't sound robotic, as I said, and also pay attention to your body language, maintaining the eye contact, and try to smile. Even though if you're doing the phone interview, I would say that you can hear it from your tone. And and if the interviewer asks you a question, listen first. Do not rush to answer. Listen first, and then answer. And for any reason, if you didn't understand the question, it's okay to ask the interviewer to repeat the question. It's better to ask to repeat rather than to say something that is not relevant. And also watch your pace. Sometimes when we get nervous, it happens to me all the time. So when we get nervous, so we talk so fast. And try to watch, your pace, and try to, talk slowly. And also at the end of the interview, ask what's the next step. And also thank you the interviewer for their time, and also follow up. So within the 24 hours of the interview, so you can send the individual or the interviewer a thank you email. So not only it will show you that you value your time, but it also provides you the opportunity to resell yourself and express the unique strengths that you can bring to the role, and also you can share any talking points that you forgot to address. And the last but not the least is about, close out your interview strong. This is also very important. So I would say that one of the best ways to leave a lasting impression is to come prepared with the question, like relevant questions about the company, about the job, about the hiring manager. Because most of the time, the interviewer or the hiring manager ended up with asking this, that if you do have any question, and it doesn't look good. Okay, look good, nice. If you say no, I do not have any question. So be prepared with the question. As I said, it's relevant. Like, we can ask anything about the RBC, about the training program, or about like the hiring manager. Because always remember that finishing the interview strong is just as important as your first impression. All right. So now I would like to quickly talk about the RBC recruitment process. I'm sure so many of you are interested in applying for RBC, and so you may have a question: how is the RBC hiring process? So RBC is actually one of the Canada's top employer with the best diversity employees and the best workplace. I can confidently say that. So all of our 86 employees are really diversified. So we have employees from different diverse communities, and we serve our clients over 200 languages. So this shows how diversified our team is. So the recruitment process at RBC is very straightforward. So you can apply directly throughout the website, or you can throughout different jobs outside, like as I said, Indeed, Monster, or like social media, like same as LinkedIn. Or you can just submit your application directly through our website. And when you submit your application online, so then you will receive a text message on your phone. So it's really important to have a cell phone set up before you apply for a job, and make sure your phone number is updated on the application and resume. So, so you will receive a text message on your cell phone, and once you complete all questions, so your application will be pushed to the recruiter for review. And then once the recruiter reviewed application, so RBC will send you the mobility questionnaires, so which you need to pick the market or like pick up the quadrant and answer like other questions on the questionnaire. So because at RBC, we're looking for individuals who are able to fully mobile to all of the branches in one quadrant in GTR. So we have 4 quadrants. So we have East quadrant, we have West, North, and South. So, and again, this is depends on your location, depends on your profit for the verbal market, like if you are able to, if you're speak other language as well. So and you can pick the most convenient quadrant. And once you complete that, so the recruiter will schedule you an phone interview. So, and then, so when the recruiter assesses you and based on your phone interview, so if you will be a good candidate for the job, so it will provide you to the hiring manager for the interview. And as I said right now, all of the interviews like are through the the virtual. So again, it is important that you know the platform. So it will be up to the virtual format. And sometimes for the certain role, depends on the role, you will be invited to the panel interview. So that's fully optional because it really depends on the hiring team. So sometimes the person might reporting to the different hiring managers and have collaboration with different teams. So you might be invited to the panel interview, and then after that, so if you are the best candidate, you will be given a conditional offer. So it's conditioned on that you pass the background check. So the background check usually involves the credit check, your work experience, and education check, and of course your criminal background check. So and so RBC also will ask whether you need to provide references. So references are fully optional. Really depends on whether the hiring manager needs to talk to someone that you have worked with before. So you really do not need to provide that references when you apply for the job. So if the hiring manager requires that, so they will let you know, at the end. So, but you do not need to provide the references at the beginning. Yeah, so as I said, it's very straightforward. So applying to the RBC, the hiring process at RBC, and I wanted to just share that with you. And so this actually takes us to the questions, and definitely the magic is in you, and you just need to believe in yourself. And I'm sure you all have great experiences. And yeah, so this takes us to the Q&A. So we would love to hear from you. We would love to just answer some of the questions now. Awesome. So let's see.
I think we have some in chat, and there's also in the Q&A box as well. So both places.
Awesome. So we try to answer as many as we can. So let me just see. All right. So the first question is about I have graduated in Master of Economics in the summer, but I was a teacher before, so I wanted to change the job to work in RBC, which is absolutely fine. Changing the industry is always an option. So, and I would like to know people like me, and I rejected the banking advisor, so I applied for already. So I would like to know if people like me with no experience in banking have any chance to get hired in at RBC. That's a very, very great question actually, because like we get this question a lot that, hey, I do not have like banking experience, or I do not have Canadian experience. So how can I apply? So do I have any chance? I would say absolutely yes. You really do not need to have banking experience or Canadian experience, and this is the answer. So the answer is you do not have to have, because it's not really about having the Canadian experience. even though if you do not have a banking experience, as I said, so you always can think about changing the industry, because even as a newcomer, so when you are just came to Canada, so or you just graduated from a school and you are looking for applying for the job, so the bank is not required to have experience, and so it's all about the transferable skills. So what RBC is looking for is the transferable skills that we have discussed. So of course, if you had the previous banking experience in your home country or here in Canada, that would be definitely an asset. But I would say that is more about the interpersonal skills, about the transferable skills, and how you include those skills, those relevant skills into your resume. But I can just add that, for example, if you work for retailers or for, let's say, for McDonald's or Walmart, so because it's all about the customer service, that's going to be a huge asset. But again, if you do not have those, it's okay, because it's more about your interpersonal skills. So working at a bank, especially about the entry levels, is more about the customer service skills. And if someone like being a teacher, so you just need to take those transferable skills like being patient, communication skills. These are all of the skills that you can also include your resume, because it also works for the customer service role, I would say. So Ria, please feel free to add to this, and we can just go to the next question then. Awesome. So who do we contact about a particular job at RBC? Also, does RBC have career events or networking events for outside such as us potential employees? So again, a very great question. So you already started your networking with RBC staff by just attending today. So you will definitely feel free to contact us, or you can just follow us on the LinkedIn. So we will be more than happy to set up the coffee chat call with you guys. So we do have the networking event. So this kind of considers a networking event. So if you follow the ACCES and you can also follow us on the LinkedIn. So any upcoming events, for example, sometimes you have the recruitment events, or sometimes we have the events like this. We post everything like the flyer on the LinkedIn. So that's how you would know that if you would like to attend any of those. But again, we're not a recruiter, we're not a short team. But if you want to apply for a job, I would say the best way is to basically apply online. But you definitely can reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to set up some coffee chat, like individual coffee chat call with you guys. Okay, awesome. So for Andrea, please feel free if there's any questions that you would like to answer, you can just jump in. I'm just trying to also check out the Q&A.
I would like to address a question from Divya. Can new immigrants and with prior managerial experience in their home country apply for managerial jobs in Canada, or would you suggest starting a level below? That's a really great question, because Divya, you're touching on a lot of important points, and ultimately, and this is just from my experience and what and as mentioned, that we've taken away from the recruitment team, and just what the HR suggests to us. So ultimately, your resume is your selling factor. It's all your credentials on this paper that you're selling yourself for a job. So if you have the credentials and you have the experience, then by all means apply for it. But the advice that I always give for entry level and to actually get your foot into the door is to start at the position below, because that way you have the time and you have the opportunity to learn more about the organization and prepare yourself for the job that you want to actually have. So that's just how I approach my job search and how I approach my career and the path that I'm taking. So ultimately, Divya, it's up to you. You can apply. We encourage you to apply, actually. And then, applying and then getting the feedback is how you learn, and you get the feedback directly from the recruiters and their stand on your resume. So, I mean, it is a journey. Applying for all these positions, it is a journey. It can be, the ups and downs of it, but ultimately, it's your journey and how you want to approach it. But I just wanted to give you my 2 cents on that.
Thank you so much. You brought up great points, and I would say that client advisor role is a very great way to get a great foundation for Canadian banking. So it's a great starting role to make sure that you have building blocks to success in the future. So, and also at the same time, I would like to address another question that can we join as a teller without past banking experience? So if you do not have a banking experience, if you do not have a Canadian experience, so I would say that the client advisor role can be a great, role as a great foundation for Canadian banking. So you absolutely can apply for the client advisor role even without having any banking experience. And I would suggest you, without having the Canadian banking experience, we can start with that. Just make sure when you do your job search, we don't call it teller, we call it the client advisor. Okay, so and then client advisor is named as RBC. In other FI, they may have a different like a job title. So make sure you search for the client advisor role. And there was another question about so how we can follow up or with the application, or for example, I get this question a lot that I have not heard from the recruiter for a couple of weeks, so what's happening? So it's a very, very fair question. I know just waiting for the responses can be very anxious. So for the regular job postings, usually takes between maybe 4 weeks to even sometimes 8 weeks. Sometimes they get back to you after 2 months because RBC always hiring for the future. Like you may be being a selected candidate, but they may not reply back to you just within like a short term. So they may even get back to you after 2 for 3 months. And so because the other reason is sometimes it takes time, because once a recruiter posts a role, usually they allow a few weeks for the candidate to submit the resume, and sometimes we receive like 300 to 500 and sometimes 1,000 resume for one individual job posting. So it will take time that they go over the resume, so they will scan your resume, and sometimes you may get to the phone interview, but again they may not get back to you after a couple of weeks, because let's say they need to set up the time with the hiring manager, and maybe it's a vacation season. I know that is the processing now is very slow because of the vacation season, so it takes time. But I would say that if you didn't get back anything after 4 to 5 months, or sometimes longer, so mostly your application is not selected. So, and then if you've been rejected, you always can reapply after 6 months. You also can follow up with your recruiter as well. So it's okay that you send the follow-up emails to them. And then another very common question about the certification. So, what certification we need to, let's say, apply for a client advisor or banking advisor role. So for client advisor role, you do not need to have any designation or certification. You can apply for the role, and there's not a requirement for that. But for the banking advisor role, you need to have your mutual fund designation. It can be either CSC, which is Canadian Security Course, or FFEC, which is Investment Fund in Canada. So these are both our self-study courses. So they're all available at CSI, Canadian Security Institution. So it's self-study. So you can just register for them, and then you will take the exam. So when you pass, so you will be you have your designation. So for banking advisor role, you need that. But also just keep that in mind that even if you do not have your designation for the mutual fund, you still can apply for the banking advisor role if you are a good candidate. If you already have all of the requirements, you still can get hired as a banking advisor, and the bank, the RBC, will give you 4 to 6 months to get that designation. So if you already have it, it's going to be a great asset. But if you don't, so you still can apply for the banking advisor role as well. Awesome. So it's already 12 o'clock, and then I see so many great questions. So I don't know if you can maybe you can pick one, and we can answer one more before we get back to yeah.
Sure. I have someone that wants to connect with me on LinkedIn about the networking, so I'm really happy to do that. Thank you. I'm glad to talk about you in my networking piece. So you can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn, and I will share any advice that I can, and even my entire team too, if you'd like.
Okay, great. All right, so we will be sharing our contact information at the end. So you always can reach out to us individually, but please give us some time before we get back to you. We will definitely get back to you. It might take sometimes weeks because like usually we get so many people reach out to us. So but we will definitely reach out to you, and I would love to personally, and I'm sure my team, to set up a quick 15 minutes coffee chat call, because as I said, like as Ria said, RBC is always hiring, and we are looking for the talent, so we can just have a discussion. We're not hiring, we're not HR, we're not recruiter, but we can definitely guide you, and give you, individual tips and advice, so that helps you for your job. All right, so